What's up, Collector fam? It's your boy Tony the Toy Rack. Back with another rigorous resin review for new PVC, the way I see statues. Now, before we get into this particular statue, I want to dedicate this particular episode to one of our main supporters up top, Mr. Max Mubaris. Thanks for keeping us alive in New York City. Keep hitting that like and subscribe. We appreciate you, and this particular episode's for you. And by the way, Max Moob could probably tell us all more about Carnage than I can. For those of you who don't know who this is, we prepared just a short preview for Carnage, and we sped up the unboxing so you wouldn't get annoyed, but you could bypass that too and go straight to the toy.
Welcome back, Eddie Brock. Miss you so much. Soon come chaos.
Thanks for rolling through the speed unboxing with us. Before we get too far along the trail, I just want to make a statement and say to my man Zach Oates and the team at Diamond Select, y'all like Shaq in a low post. Everything y'all do is slam dunks, and we appreciate the opportunity to review the work. With no further ado, let's get into Carnage. All right, so first and foremost, if all you know about Carnage is from Sony's movie, trash. Unfortunately, that's nothing to do with the original theory behind how Cletus Cassidy got to be Carnage. He didn't bite his writer that he requested to come to prison, which I don't even know how that's allowed, but that is not how it happened. So Cletus Cassidy originally was serving life in Rikers Island. Eddie Brock, who has Venom as a symbiote, is put in jail, and Venom breaks him out. As he's breaking him out and all the chaos ensues, Venom leaves a little piece of himself behind, and that bonds with Cletus Cassidy, and Cletus Cassidy breaks out of Rikers and goes on a murderous rampage. Everywhere he goes, writing Carnage on the wall. So that's where you get Carnage from, okay? Everything about this statue is comic book accurate. The first appearance of the symbiote Carnage was in April of 1992, Amazing Spider-Man number 361. Put that over here. Okay, and so with that said, he's been around for a little while now, so they've adjusted him, and he's had lots of backstories. In a couple of separate universes, he's actually taken over people like Gwen Stacy and Norman Osborn. If you know Norman Osborn, he's the Green Goblin. So again, that's other Marvel continuity. Carnage is kind of all over the place in that piece. With that said, I want to bring him up now. I want to talk a little bit about this. Again, this is a Diamond Select piece, and man, let's just take a quick look at him. I know he's been spinning around in the background here. I'm just going to give him a quick twirl just so that everybody gets a chance to see him in nice slow motion. He is 7 inches by 7 inches by 9 inches tall. Okay? He is 3.52 ounces, 3.5 ounces. He is a sturdy piece. He is solid all the way around. Now, that being said, it does look like the tendrils that are all around his body, these really cool dynamic pieces that kind of push him forward from a motion perspective. As you can see from the side arm here, you can see everything's pushing out the back. So as you pull back here, everything's sort of waving back behind him, giving this forward projection, this forward motion sort of look. And he's leaning forward on the rock with his hand and his really sharp claws down here at the base They are super cool. You can see the ridges on the fingers there. They're gripping the rock really tightly, except for the thumb back here. I'm not going to gripe too much about the thumb not making contact. That's fine. It's all right. Okay. He's got the menacing sharp claws on the rocks here. This face, this skeletal face, which is exactly what it looks like in the comic books. And I would say they did a fairly good job in Sony's adaptation of it. I don't like the retcon, but I do love what they did digitally for him. So you can see all that back here. It's almost sharp. Don't put your finger in there. It's almost sharp. Okay. All right. They have this beautiful shadow around the eyes. I don't know if I can get that for you. Do you see it? It's just kind of a light haze around the eyes, and it gives that greater feeling of depth on side of the eyes. So it's almost like there's pockets in there. And if you know anything about this particular symbiote, Carnage has the ability to morph his arms into different weapons and utilities and shoot these tendrils out at other people. So in this depiction of him, he has his axe, which has been sported in a lot of the comic book adaptations. Granted, it doesn't look as sharp as it could because it's made of symbiote axe, but it's a really cool look. And it's got that forwardly motion into it. He's also got this really thick vein right here that just kind of pumps into this axe and flows directly in. It's a really cool look. He's a muted red color, which means he's not super reflective. He's not meant to be. The ooze, the black ooze, the symbiote ooze that's rocking all around him is done perfectly. It just seems like it's still moving. All right, so any complaints? Not really complaints, more or less observations. As with most of these bases, now he's sitting on this cool rock formation. One thing to notice, unless I try to rock him, he's not going anywhere. It's a super stable base. Now, the base and the actual piece are two separate units, and you know that by lifting up on the bottom here. And you can see there is a pin set right on this side. Now, I'm a little worried that there was no pin on this side, but I tried to lift up on that foot, and it looks like he's glued down pretty tightly, so I'm not worried about that coming out. The only other thing I can think to point out is that the tendrils that are shooting off of him, which are meant to do mind control and all kinds of other things against his enemies, they look to have been put on after the fact, so not part of the original mold. They are fluid, they move, and they bend. They're not going to fall off. I've picked it up once or twice, but I don't know how often I do that because it looks like too much playing around with those tendrils might get one potentially to pop off, and that would be a problem. Most of the time, like with every other of our statues here, we're going to put it into place and just observe him. He's going to stare at me. I'm going to stare at him. He's going to stare at me. Round and round we go. But every once in a while, you want to take them out, move them, clean them. Just be real careful with the tendrils package on that. Other than that, there really isn't anything negative to say about this piece. The piece has been lowered in cost. Now, it fluctuates from time to time, given the sales or what have you. But if you were going to have Venom and you were going to have Spider-Man, you can't not have Carnage. So I would wholly recommend the purchase of this piece. If you want to compare it against other type pieces of Carnage, again, this version of the Diamond Select Gallery is an affordable version for everybody. They have a Kotobukiya, which is double this price, but he's half the size, or 3/4 the size, okay? So I get a lot more for my buck out of this Diamond Select piece right here. If you compared it against my Venom, which is from Kotobukiya, the Kotobukiya Venom is much shorter, and though it's a menacing look, I just don't get enough out of it because it shrank down too much. This fits all the other pieces that we have in the space, and we absolutely love its addition. So that is Carnage. You guys got any questions about Carnage? I missed something, I said something wrong, tell me in the comments. I promise you we'll correct it. And one last thing before we let you go, because we are trying to hit a group of subscribers bigger than what we have right now, we are giving away one of our prized possessions. So we got this 2004 Kiss mint in the box statue of the Demon. and he is going to go to someone special. All you have to do is like and subscribe and comment on any one of our videos with the comment kisses, and you'll be automatically entered in to win that when we hit the 500 subscriber mark. Thanks so much, everybody, for staying with us through this whole thing. If you have any comments about how we can do this better or stuff you don't like, feel free to say it in the comments. We're looking forward to responding to them. We do listen to everybody, so thanks so much. It's Tony the Toy Rat signing off. See you next time.